Hello everyone and welcome to Rollmongers. GM Jeff here. We are so excited here at Rollmongers. We expand and bring you multiple podcasts. You have to check us out on SoundCloud and get a taste of the up-and-coming podcast for Attack of Opportunity to be released in the new year. We have short clips available. Not only that, we have revamped our YouTube page showing more content from our creators, as well as we are happy and proud to announce Clinton's Core Classics, a visit to the good old days of your first Pathfinder adventure path, Rise of the Rune Lords Anniversary Edition, which will be played by yours truly and the Rollmongers cast under our new DM Clinton. And, there's just too much to say in one little intro. So, to begin, welcome.
Here we go, boys, to another exciting week here at Rollmongers, where we are traveling the space lanes of Saga Edition Star Wars. That's right, the edition everyone hates.
And since you're first level and I'm feeling in a good mood, the DM is advising that this is a good thing to try to do. But as the tactics go on, as you guys get into more and more fights, I'm going to be less and less helpful, because the bad guys are going to get smarter and smarter.
Oh no,
how smart can they really get if you're the DM?
As smart as their dialogue says they are, and the dice rolls allow them to be in that moment.
Yes, this is true.
Dr. Leth, please roll Deception. Do you have Deception as a noble? Surely you do. I have it in class list, but at -2, all right, here he goes. Let's see how believable his little stage is. 11, 9. I'll even give him a +2 because he actually had a guy that was already slumped at par of 11. So an average DC. So at the very least, the stormtroopers, they don't pull guns and come over and, what are you doing with that guy? And, act all suspicious. They just walk over and, investigate. What do we do?
Excellent. We take advantage of the distraction that Dr. Leth has provided.
Now, you still have to walk right by them, but now the Imperials have gone from the center of the hallway over to one doorway, with their backs and shoulders to you. You guys hug a wall or run up like you're concerned citizens or whatever.
Act casual.
Yes, yeah, very casual. Cue Travolta music.
You guys get to the elevator, and you call it, and you're standing there waiting. Out of the corner of your eye, trying to look inconspicuous, the Dr. Leth is continuing to rant and ordering them and, sort of taking a heavy hand, hopefully that they're overlooking that he's Arcadian, that the poor human, that they really should help, and he's a doctor, and if you don't want, my help, then we'll go down to Douglas Medical Supplies, and you can turn him over to Dr. Fenn. He even drops her name. I'm an associate of Dr. Fenn, and tries to bully him into, at least moving the guy. So the stormtroopers pick up the guy after taking a cue from the officer, who agrees, and they start, taking this guy away. The officer, however, turns, and it looks like he's going to detain our Dr. Leth, who starts waving a hand about. Roll. Can I have a social science roll, please?
Oh, knowledge, social science 25.
There you
awesome.
Go. A couple of things are being conveyed somewhat on the down low to you. First of all, the doctor's positioned himself so the Imperial has to put his back to you to face him. He's over gesturing with his arms, and he's reaching over top of the man's head, but his hands are flapping towards you, like he wants you to get going, get out of here. He can only keep this up so long. It looks like he's sacrificing himself, taking one for the team, because if the Imperials arrest him or whatever, he's just going to have to trust that you guys will find him later. But the good news is the stormtroopers are completely occupied with the guy that he downed, and he seems to be keeping this Imperial officer, busy, but it doesn't look like he's going to get away from him anytime soon.
Perfect. Take advantage of that.
Okay.
So, is the elevator there yet?
Speaking of which, just as you hear that, we also hear the sound of distant blaster fire. around the corner where all those guys went.
Oh.
Now, this is going to draw the attention of, if possibly the Imperial and could hear it over, Dr. Leth screaming in his face. You don't know. But the promenade's about to get hot again. What do we do?
Get in the elevator.
Okay. Not our problem. Slide on the elevator.
Oh, we gotta go pick up our cargo.
Yep. Okay. So Merrick, Rawl, and Poser step onto the elevator.
Can I use the Force to sense what's going on? If anyone has died over there near the blaster fire?
Yep. You still step on the elevator though, right?
Yeah. Stepping on the elevator, just kind of
all right.
Feeling out a little bit. Being precautionary though. Use the Force check of 22.
Okay. You reach out with your feelings. You connect to the life forms around you. Dr. Leth, oh good, he didn't kill him. The guy that's, life force is weak but not snuffed out. Stormtroopers, people in the general area, a little bit dimmed and dampened through the walls that you have to sense through, but still there. You sense a cluster, one very strong in the center, must be that Commander Leopard guy. What kind of name is Commander Leopard anyway? I mean, he's a massive guy, and I guess he, affects everyone around him, but still. And there are 3 more life forms. 2 stand apart, and you sense the energy that is coming from them in the form of, possibly a blaster bolt. And then there's a last life form, which is moving rapidly towards your position. Frank.
Yep.
Can I have an initiative check, please? I need you to beat my roll. 2. Should not be hard.
9.
So 9 beats my 2. Just getting to the elevator in time. Gentlemen, just as the elevator doors are about to close, we see the cloaked and hooded and scraggly, olderish human sort of eek on one foot around the corner, bend over and breathing heavy to catch his breath. And you guys are looking at him and he's about to say something. You don't know if he's going to tell you he has to hold the elevator or give you a message or whatever. He's just standing there panting in this dramatic moment. You guys are looking at him and he's looking at you, and there's Rahul wailing on the closed door button. Suddenly the doors actually begin to close, and the old guy launches himself forward and jams the door with a foot, causing them to reopen.
He holds his hand up. I said, hold the elevator. This promenade's about to get hot. I don't have the energy to be down here. I gotta go.
What do you guys do?
I'll hold the elevator.
Okay.
Put my hand in the door and help slide the thing back on us so we can get on.
Frank, would you please describe your character?
So he's near human, so he's, a human build. He's about 6 foot, kind of medium build, wears a decent length rifle kind of slung over one shoulder. See, it's still got the restraining bolt through the clip so he can carry it around on the promenade. But he's got a short, kind of really closely cropped beard. Okay. So over it looks like he's got some kind of a ballistic shirt on, but over the top of that, he's got a long, like a duster coat with the hood kind of thrown up over his head. Almost like he's trying to blend in with the crowd, not stand out too much. And then he's got some yellow tinged visors on.
If there's any other features about skin or, it's hiding under his clothes, he's got gloves, gauntlets, coat, boots, the whole bit. He's got a very long rifle slung over one shoulder that he was jogging along with, carrying like a little bag, like a pack by its handles in the other hand when he entered. And now he's standing there sort of rearranging himself, getting the pack back on and getting the gun situated. And
I saw you guys making your way out of here. I figured it was a good idea.
I thought no one had seen me.
Besides, who wants to be here when things start going crazy, right?
Yeah, I can't say I blame you for that. There's been a lot of commotion happening on this station lately.
So I kind of limp my way onto the elevator, kind of moving the hip bags kind of back, kind of where they belong, and reach back and rubs his leg. Oh, God, I think I pulled something. I'm getting too old for this.
Are you okay?
Yeah, last time something went crazy here, they were patching people up for weeks.
doors just close, and the Imperial Stormtroopers come like running around the corner, and they come out the door and stop! Hold the elevator! They just you even hear them shooting at it, like, when you guys are like, the door just closed. And it's so obvious that this guy was running from Imperials, and he's kind of looking at you, and you guys are kind of looking at him.
I don't know what's going on there. Not me. Totally
sure
not
you
me.
don't. Sure you don't. And I'm sure we don't either. I didn't see nothing. Just give him a big wink.
Anyway, where's this thing going? Up or down?
Up, actually. And Rahal had wailed on the button to try to get up to the blue level. A lovely level where all the nice and Imperial entrenched and humans roam carefree. It's the nicest part of the station. The equivalent of the gated community on this station.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It's not like you can't get up there, but if you're spotted prowling around or whatever, you'll
definitely get some flack.
Yeah, they'll have no bones of tossing you, or definitely going to be a problem.
How obviously not fully human are you, old man?
Since you're face to face in the elevator, despite from his piercing yellow eyes, he just looks like a really old, weathered, once tall, athletic guy that just aged.
Okay.
Anyway, up is command and control. I don't have a badge for that. You guys got a destination? I think docks are down.
We're headed up to the blue level. Got a little bit of business to attend to up there. But you mentioned the docks. You don't happen to have a ship for hire here, do you?
Well, I was co-pilot on a vessel. I haven't seen the captain in a while, though. Probably 3-4 days.
Oh, on this station?
They also just arrested your commander as well. That was the large Cathor that got dragged away. So you're fresh out of commanding officers there, old man.
So, and the big cat that got hauled off, yeah, he was the other pilot. So I got a ship but no pilot.
I've tried my hand at starship piloting a few times. I'm not a professional by any means, but I'm proficient enough to give co-piloting a role. How can I get in touch with you and name your price? We're going to be looking for transport.
Oh. Well, all right. Well, if I just tag along, you won't have to hunt me down, right? I lost my communicator. Yeah, lost it.
So why are you headed up to command and control?
I'm not. I was headed down to the docks. Figure I'd cool my heels on the ship.
It's probably a good idea. All right, then, yeah, you might as well tag along with us. Are you handy with that there sharpshooter you got, old man?
No, I can reach out and touch somebody with it. It's kind of like a marriage. Just ruins everything.
I think we're going to get along fine. Turn and face him, extend a hand. The name's Rahal Olberace. Entrepreneur extraordinaire. This is my personal protection man, Merrick, and a friend of ours, Poser.
Poser? Merrick?
Yeah, Poser here fancies himself a musician. I have yet to see him play, but he sure knows how to handle that axe of his, I'll tell you that for sure.
Axe? Well, that's way too up close and personal. I like this thing here. Like I said, it's like a marriage. It just reaches out and ruins everything. My name's Zhinn.
That's
Zhinn
awesome.
Brawl.
Well, see, that's your problem. You can't deal with the issues up close. That's why all your marriages are terrible.
What do you mean, all of them? I got one or two that still work, I think.
So you got like a girl at every port? Hey, sailor.
I got 2 or 3 wives. They're just spread out between systems. What happens in one system stays in one system. Besides, too much of me is more than one woman could really tolerate. I stay gone, it's doing them a favor.
Nice.
I can barely tolerate you.
So, as the turbo lift doors slide open, gentlemen, you step out onto the blue deck and continue your conversation. It looks like entering a wholly different space station. The floors are polished and possess a metallic sheen, and the massive windows along one wall grant a most magnificent view of Brenthal, the planet itself. Maintenance and service droids flit about from one place to the next, keeping everything clean and ordered. Moving about the halls of the Blue Deck are a large number of humans, most of them wealthy by all appearances. They pay little attention to the few aliens in the area, except perhaps to sneer at them as they pass. As you gentlemen are discussing marriage and each other.
Whereabouts are we headed to on the Blue Deck? What was the container number?
He wanted you to go to the main docking bay, unless you want to take some time to gather some info and stuff.
No, I don't think so. If we've got a destination in mind, we should probably head there.
Okay.
I'll take the lead being human and having the best blending skills. These are my people here.
All right. So, you just fall in line with them there, old man?
Yeah. Just kind of, doing his best to keep up as they move along.
I'm not moving particularly fast. Casual.
Yeah, the whole place is just kind of strutting.
Yep. And I'm walking the walk.
It's like you got
keeping my eyes open for the the hot ladies in the crowd to do the walk by and nod.
All right. Well, I'm always harping on rules as written, and in this book there actually isn't anything about perception checks being done by me or you. So, for now, until I get my macros set up, let's have perception, boys and girls. Spam away on those buttons.
Awesome! It's one of my not favorite skills. Hey, that's 18.
14.
All right. Old man kind of steps out of the lift.
To 12.
Looks around, kind of takes a quick case of the joint, and gets a 24.
Oh, perceptive old man.
Very perceptive old man.
Yes.
He's been there. He's seen things.
You introduced yourself as Brawl Zhinn? Or Zhinn Brawl?
Zhinn Brawl.
Oh, okay. So
Old man Zhinn.
Old man Zhinn. All right. Sounds good.
Going with a theme here.
Yeah, that's good.
So I'm gonna do two kind of solid searches. I'm gonna look for security, so cameras, guards, and then I'm gonna look at I'm gonna read the crowd, so to speak.
Okay.
See if they seem tense or if it's just business as usual or.
Okay. As we're going along, let's start with Rahal. 12. Being in the middle, showing yourself off, and doing the strut, your range is unfortunately limited. We'll say the circumstances that you've set up are like you're drawing attention to yourself so that you're drawing attention away from the others, resulting in your 12, you're dead center, you're doing your strut. It's not a great position to overhear people and, look everywhere. You got to look casual as opposed to your head being on a swivel and looking paranoid. So with a 12, you see what you'd expect to see now that you've adapted to the scene. Floors are polished, droids are moving, nobles are rich, people are gossiping, people are putting on shows for each other, showing off their wealth, having meetings, sometimes in the hallways. There's Imperials and troopers running around, that kind of thing. Poser, with a 14. What, your homeworld, we know quietly, your background being trained. Did you do academy time? Or were you sort of the little child that did the training lightsabers under Yoda and then was given to a master very young, and then you've just been traveling the galaxy with a single master like most of them do? And then the war
train under Yoda and then travel with the master.
Yeah, and then the war broke out relatively young and went on for a couple years, and then unfortunately it's still at your tender young age, you lost your master and you've gone into hiding with this pseudo personality and drawing on your own disappointment and that sort of thing, hiding the weapon of choice and taking up the guitar. This scene is not, you've had to, being with your master, you have had to be in these types of social situations. You have rubbed elbows with the upper crust, you know what I mean? And they always showed you guys a lot of respect. But here, in an old station, in the polished section of an old station, the vibe's different. people seem to have agendas, and since you've more and more as the episode's going by, have you sort of turned back on that force valve that we started the game saying you were completely shut off, which technically by the rules is kind of impossible to do. And so you've either been ignoring feelings in the force and shutting it out by will, but you've reached out a couple of times now, and old habits die hard. Once you're back on that bike, it just gets easier to pedal, and you can feel the energy, the vibe, the flow of the people and the life energy and everyone running around or whatever. And it's a good feeling. You know, the force is an old ally. It's kind of hard to let go. Do you want to tap into this feeling? Instead of perception, give me a use the force? Or you suddenly remember yourself and decide, no, shut it down?
Definitely gonna shut it down.
Okay. Looking around.
Especially with just what we came from.
Yep.
Coming up an elevator with someone who just possibly shot someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely shutting it down.
Okay, so looking out with your eyes and ears, being careful not to reach out to the whispers, the river, the energy field that surrounds us and binds us. 14. Nothing seems amiss. Nothing really stands out. Merrick.
Yes.
18. Tactically, people follow patterns. Now, socially, Rawl is our man, but tactically, a uniform is a uniform. And a lot of people don't realize that civilians wear uniforms. They wear uniforms for work. They have a style of clothes that they set themselves into, like a cliche or a clique, and they just fall comfortable into that type of clothes. So when you spot a man wearing the same sort of dark, long coat that the two informants that attacked Maya and that you wrestled with, you spot one, he kind of stands out among. It's not that he's not as well dressed as the nobles and everyone running around, but this guy is literally wearing the colors of a snitch, a traitor, a collaborator, and he's just walking down, coming right at you guys. Guy's little dude with a mop of black greasy hair, and his physique is little more than skin hanging off bones, but he proudly struts, doing the best he can to strut, coming at us on the adjacent side of the hallway.
Roll. 12 o'clock.
Roll. Merrick points out a man that looks remarkably like the two guys that you fought and got into a gunfight with, a blaster fire, traded fire with, that attacked Maya earlier today on the promenade. Dressed just like him in the long, heavy, dark coat, dark gray, wily looking dude.
Is there any like alleyways?
You could
nearby?
follow him. You could follow him until he, sort of alone and try and confront him, or you guys could just confront him here and sort of, muscle him off into a doorway or a corner or something if you wish.
Well, has he taken notice of us?
Not yet. Now, you don't recognize him as one of the actual men. You shot
right.
them. But you recognize the guy, the
you,
clothes and the strut. Give me a social science.
Social science 18.
So here's a man who has suddenly come up in life. He's got that attitude where, he was one rank in life and now he's several steps up. And it's because of this coat. Or at least that's the way he feels, and that's the way he's presenting himself. It's in the walk, it's in the talk, and he's doing his own shuffly strut, sneering at people and trying to look important. And so what Merrick is telling you makes sense.
Yep, okay. So yeah, keep an eye on him and, follow pace and try not to get his attention.
He passes you guys. You guys would sort of have to 180 if you want to continue following him.
Slow down. Pull Poser and Old Man Zhinn in for a second, have a little conference off to the side while watching where he's going.
Okay.
Hey guys, we ran into a couple of his buddies earlier on tonight.
Zim, he's pointing out a man, because you haven't been on the station long, like you guys came off, barely got through customs, and they gave you guys a lot of trouble because your captain and your commanding officer, the CO officer, that Commander Leopard, that just got pushed away, were aliens, like straight out aliens. They hassled you a bit because you're a neo-human, and most of your crew were aliens, so you guys got trouble like right out of the door. And were told to only stay in certain stuff. They ran all your papers several times. It's just been hassling the crap out of you guys. Your commander and yourself seem to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Somebody shot up some stormtroopers. You guys were, rounding a corner, and they questioned you. And because Commander Leopard had been on the station before, it's one of his favorite places a couple years ago, he acted like he owned the place. Do you have any idea who I am? I have my favorite stores here. You're not going to stop me. I want to buy a droid. I've changed my mind. Maybe I can buy my old droid back. Something like that. And he just wasn't having it. So he resisted their curt, formal attempts to search him and all this kind of stuff. He made a big stink. I've been searched already, down in the docking bay twice. I'm here on, I got past, like, what is this kind of crap? He just had enough. And of course, you resist stormtroopers. They don't care. They just, hauled him off. You went with. You found your chance to escape. He caused a row around a corner, and you basically grabbed your gear and bolted. He kind of gave you the, he did give you the nod to, like, make a run for it kind of thing. He's trusting maybe.
I didn't just abandon him.
No, well, I don't. That's up to you. But, he's the kind of guy that can handle himself and wouldn't hold it against you. He's one of these Errol Flynn bravado types. If you came across him 2 years later in a bar, he wouldn't hold it against you.
Oh, I'm glad you got away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
It's stormtroopers. They're all over the place. What are you going to do? So you bolted, and they shot at you, and luckily missed, and now you fell in with these guys. But they're going the wrong direction. You want to get back to your ship, if it hasn't already been impounded. So even though you have the best perception check at 24, the guy, what I was pointing out to them, it doesn't mean anything to you at this time. The way this perception check was rigged wasn't for the best roller. It was to do with a history, and the guys had to hit a DC.
Yeah.
However, I'm not going to let that 24 go to waste. This guy is armed, and you can tell when a guy, like a newbie, gets a gun. There's experienced people that handle weapons, and there's people that are just, just got one. Never had to carry one before kind of thing. This guy is carrying a holdout blaster. He's got it concealed, but with your 24, you actually see the sort of bump in his clothing. The way he holds his arm and slumps forward or whatever, it presses against the cloth, and you can tell that he's got a holdout blaster sidearm, under his big coat. And these guys are saying apparently he's some kind of, enemy, some kind of Imperial snitch.
And the holdout blasters, those are controlled or not controlled?
They're illegal.
Okay.
But if he's wearing the coat, it's the Imperials that probably gave it to him and made it legal.
Gotcha.
It's not like something you can go, hey, he's armed, and put a stormtrooper on him. But they arm him, but they do it on the down low. So he's not a civilian carrying a great big gun.
Okay.
So, Rawl, pulling the guys aside, doing the rundown, pointing this guy out. Merrick's had his 5 minutes up in his head with what he's observed. Old Man Zhinn is up in his head 5 minutes with what he is currently observing. Back to the conversation. What's the plan?
Well, I don't know what we're looking for precisely up here, but
you want to find a cargo bay, which means you probably want to find one of the main hangar bays, because the cargo bays will be, off of them.
Okay.
Now, when you first approached Zenzel Station, there were the three sticky out platforms, and you guys landed on one. Then there was the VIP platform on the very top, the dorsal side, the top center, with the flashing lights that were indicating don't land here unless you're rich and privileged.
Yeah.
That's where you guys are. If you guys found a docking bay, that would be the launch point.
Okay.
And chances are, up here in the upper blue deck of the station, there has its own hangar bays, has its own cargo bays.
So, make a note as to where he's kind of headed. I think we just escaped his notice, and we move on to get what we're here for.
Okay.
So head towards the cargo bays, but like I said, stop for a second, point him out to the newest member of our little troop. Like that, this guy's been, like, some of his buddies was messing with us earlier. Keep your eyes out for folks like that.
Okay.
And then get back to the strut down.
All right. Now there's three things going on here that I haven't pointed out, so I just, before you go back to strutting.
Okay.
First of all, Switch told you where this contraband, because it's smuggled goods, is hiding. Okay? For them to stash it here, it's like putting it in the Imperial Bay. This is the most righteous, full of stormtrooper bay. You know what I mean? He literally put it right under their noses. it technically, I guess you could say, is the last place that anyone would think to look for contraband because it is the hangar bay the Imperials use. Pretty ballsy.
Lovely.
But brilliant, because it's like, what's the last place you look? You'd expect all the contraband to be in the bowels. They would rip apart all the other ships on the, you know what I mean? Not, let's go hide our illegal cargo in the privileged Ivy League blue deck that the Imperials are currently using. Not exactly good for you, but ballsy for him. Second thing, you can't go question a stormtrooper. You can't question an Imperial officer. But one of these guys, an Imperial informant who was a civilian, may know both sides. Stuff you want to know about people, places, where stuff is kept, blah, 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 as well as things about the Imperials. He's a snitch, but then again, he knows both sides of it. He knows stuff about them, and he knows stuff about the underworld and this type of thing.
That is true.
So, however, you got to ask yourself, did fate and destiny put him in your path? Or is he just another obstacle that you really should avoid? Just gotta go. You gotta go with your gut, right?
That is true. And Rahal would want to know what he knows. He really would, legitimately.
Okay.
He'd want to know what his deal is. Why the Empire's after Maya.
Now, I may have handled this encounter badly, and you go back to your strutting, but this does occur to you. You know, how are you going to find the hangar bay? How am I going to get... Okay, you know where it is. You got the schematic. The droid showed you. And Switch says that's where the cargo is, but it's like... it's too simple. It's too in the open. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Your gut's telling you, what? You need more? More digging before we make a move?
It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea at all.
Okay.
So, yeah, before I take off, I'll confer with my friends. And say, you know, like, look around, guys. This ain't going to be as easy as we're thinking it's going to be. This place is crawling with Imperials. What do you think? They're just going to let us strut into their cargo bay, grab whatever it is we're here to get, and then stroll right on out again?
Would I be in the wrong for saying that is exactly what I thought our plan was?
Yeah, well, that was before I got here, and I had a chance to look around.
Okay, so maybe we'll modify a plan. Maybe I shoot a stormtrooper or two. Not big modifications.
Merrick, hold your guns, buddy. Hold your guns. We don't want to draw a scene. Trust me on this one. There's a lot of them here. And you're still bleeding a bit, buddy.
It's okay. That's why I like to wear a red undershirt.
What do you think, Posa? I was kind of, you know, maybe we find a maintenance bay, dress ourselves up, grab a cart, but they're not just going to let us in there without credentials. And I think I might know a way we can get some credentials. That guy looks a little green around the gills.
This guy is wearing a dark gray long coat, almost like a trench coat.
Yep. Anyways, so yeah, follow my lead, guys. And I'll turn and walk behind this guy and kind of wait till he turns into a shop or gets around a corner or something where it's going to be outside of the purview of the entire blue deck.
Okay. So you guys fall in line behind this dude. Skin on a bag of bones, proudly wearing his dark trench coat, marking him as an Imperial informant. He's doing his strut. Falling in line, trying to look casual, is Rahal. Followed by two near humans. One an old man, one this giant-sized mercenary-looking dude, and then our disdainful-looking, cone-headed Syrian rock star with his guitar case. This is what the world is seeing as you guys go by, right? Am I wrong? Did I miss anything? No droid, no doctor.
Sounds like the usual suspects.
Okay.
I think you forgot to add a few piercings there, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I thought that was kind of summed up in the rock star. All right, so I'm rolling along, you know, and let's see what this guy perceives, you know, with his 5. Oh, he just doesn't seem to take notice of you guys. He's nodding at people and sneering at other people, and you guys are in his 6, and he's completely off his radar. And he turns a corner, decides to stop a little cafe, perhaps a refresher, you know, and just gets far enough away where Rahal, you think you guys can maybe corner him.
And we do so. And
when it becomes obvious that you guys are blocking his path or, moving to intercept, or it becomes blatantly obvious, Merrick lays a hand on him, or, he turns and you guys kind of like file out and block the hall, or, that kind of thing. You let him into the refresher and don't let him out, something like that.
Yeah.
You guys realize, though, the blue deck is prestigious, and there's not a ton of people up here, but there's enough that you guys only have a few moments. And any of this kind of shenanigans, a bunch of aliens bullying somebody, this is going to be, at a glance, taken badly. So, gentlemen, you manage to corner him. He's about to possibly notice that you guys have. But you guys have the proverbial surprise round. So, readying actions, making a move to do something to, shut him up, quiet him, stun him, do something to keep other people away, plant a guard, all the kind of thing. You guys have the proverbial chance to do so now. And since you're first level and I'm feeling in a good mood, the DM is advising that this is a good thing to try to do. But as the tactics go on, as you guys get into more and more fights, I'm going to be less and less helpful because the bad guys are going to get smarter and smarter.
Oh no!
How smart can they really get if you're the DM?
As smart as their dialogue says they are, and the dice rolls allow them to be in that moment.
Yes, this is true. The dice. So I'm gonna do the whole put my arm around him. Good afternoon, my friend. Can I have a word with you in private?
He turns around. He sees you. Why, sure, my good man. Name's Banos. And then he notices the wall that is Merrick standing over your shoulder that couldn't possibly be human. But he does take that cock head to the left and then cock head to the right, does the math, because he looks human. Merrick looks human. He's just too big to be one. And then the other two, guy cloaked up and then our pierced cone-headed gentleman. What do you want with me? You know who I am? And he immediately tries to sidestep you guys and make a go, get away from you guys. He's being bolsterous in voice, trying to put you off your game, but he's definitely trying to sidestep you. What do you guys want to do?
Walk up, put my arm around him, and with my other hand in my jacket, press my pistol up against his ribs.
Okay.
And say, I mentioned I wanted to talk in private. And intimidate the crap out of him.
All right. Can I have a persuasion roll, sir?
You sure can. A persuasion of 33.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Right.
Okay. As soon as he feels the gun in the ribs, because as I said before in his description, the guy's a bag of bones, so he's got no meat and fat to your pistol instantly chafes and rubs against his bone. He lets out this little squeak and balks at you, mouth agape, and just kind of nods like he's agreeing.
Okay. Now I'm going to find someplace private.
Okay.
And we're going to move as a group someplace private, my arm around him,
okay.
Hand in the jacket with the pistol pressed up against his ribs.
Moving him along the wall, you're on the outside. You're three guys being like a human meat shield behind you and blocking the view of anyone going by, just kind of tucking away in a corner somewhere. Have a little private conversation.
Exactly.
Perception versus deception is bluff, sense, motive. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to ask for your guys' perception rolls in advance, or do you guys just want to sort of casually hang and take 10 as this goes down? You're kind of watching what's going on. You're kind of listening to Raul handle this. How do you guys want to do
however
this?
you feel like you want to do it there, bud.
I'm going to give you the choice. You guys can roll every round, some high, some low, stay in the moment, the heat of the action, though technically we're not really in combat. Or like I said, you guys can sort of
I'd say
take
we're
your,
probably
take
good.
your 10
Take
and-
10. Take the 10.
Okay.
Pay attention. We're not in a particular hurry with this, so if we can, we should.
Okay. So just to refresh my notes, because every time I write anything to do with Star Wars, I seem to lose it. Can I have your perception, sir?
Would you like a dice roll or just my
Yeah,
value?
you're actually your bonus, just the bonus by itself.
6. 6 for Rahal.
Okay. So you'd have a passive of 16. And can I have your reflex, your fortitude, and your will saves? Or defenses, I mean.
My reflex is 12. My fortitude is 11. My will is 14.
Okay. Ryan, for Merrick.
0.
Your perception is 0?
Correct.
Okay, so you're going with a good old 10. And your reflex, fortitude, and will defenses are?
15, 15, 11.
Okay. Aiden, for Poser.
Yeah. Perception of 3 and 13 for reflex, 12 for fortitude, and 15 for will.
Yes, would expect the Jedi to have the big willpower. You count as sort of the caster in this game. And Frank.
Okay, I've got a reflex of 15, fortitude 14, will of 13.
That's pretty good. Okay. And just to very, very quickly, since we're doing this on air, our good doctor, who ran off and took one for the team, is looking at 14 reflex, 11 fortitude, and 15 will, because nobles are strong-willed. Frank, I need your old man Zinn perception bonus.
On the plus 7.
Okay. So passively, and I'll give you this choice. As the rounds go by, you can just spam your perception button, or you can just take your 10. Your choice, guys. Matt's going with his 10 for 16. Merrick, what do you want to do? You want to literally take 10 or spam away?
I'll take 10 on average.
Okay. Poser? 10 or spam the button?
10, but at this point he is going to be doing use the force instead of regular perception.
Okay, so use force. And what is that plus?
7.
Okay. Very good, sir. Now, you do realize, though, that using the force, if you're not going round for round, if you're going to use it statically, you're literally it's almost like you're meditating. Poser falls back and goes, and just reaches out. I take 10, reach out.
Well, if that's the case, then he's going to roll for it every time.
Okay, well, it's as far as the game goes, it's fine.
Well, it depends on if I need to be there or if I need to be able to pay attention to the interrogation and help out.
Oh, I see.
Well, I would say this for positioning. We put old man Zinn at the mouth of the alley. You could be leaning against the wall just in, and Merrick will be probably with
The closest
me
to you.
Yeah, you're not far-seeing. Like, as far as rules is written, it says you can just use the Force instead of making a perception. So you're completely aware. You're just tapping into the Force to be completely aware. It's not like you're doing the far-seeing thing where you're, like, actually technically meditating going off. I just meant sort of a taking 10 would be sort of a relaxed state because it's a passive, but it doesn't, doesn't make you less aware to the guys 5 feet in front of you. Trust me.
Okay, then take 10.
Okay. All right. Now the fun begins. So, you get at Malone. What do you want to ask him?
Sit him down on the ground, stand over him, take the power position, and now you're going to tell me everything you know about what's going on here on this deck.
Okay.
If I got any questions, you're going to answer them. So we're going to start with this. Why did your buddies gun down that lady earlier on the promenade?
I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing about that. Lie. He's crappily using deception. Everyone knows he's lying. You can hear it in the tone of his voice. I don't know nothing about that. He's shaking his head, twitching like mad.
Yeah. Okay. I see how you're going to want to play this. Merrick.
Yes.
I want you to take his head in your hand and slowly apply pressure, just till about his eyes is going to pop out. Can you do that for me, my ginormous friend?
I can do this. Don't squirm too much. I can't control the pressure that well.
Wait, what? What? No, there's no need for that. Okay, I'll tell you anything you want to know. Just, you gotta promise to let me go. You promise to let me go, I'll tell you everything. Anything I know. I'll answer all your questions. I swear.
All right, Merrick, he's off.
But I've already got his head in my hand. It would be a waste. Aye. Fine. This one cries too much anyways.
Yeah. All right, spill the beans, buddy.
Well, no.
Why did your friends gun down that girl in the promenade earlier? What the heck is going on this station?
The Empire's discovered her as a spy. They ordered her killed.
Well, mission accomplished.
You know, I was just a merchant, and then they made me wear this coat.
Yeah, you look a little green around the gills, buddy. All right, so I've got some merchandise I got to pick up in a cargo bay. How much of an issue is a guy like me going to have getting in and getting out?
Well, I did recently see 3 stormtroopers and an officer head towards the docking bay. They're probably there now.
Mental note. 3 troopers and an officer. Okay.
If you went there now, you'd run right into them.
Yeah. I figured that much. Are there any security codes or anything required to get in and out? Can I just walk in, grab my cargo, walk out?
It's an open bay, but they were pushing a repulsor sled into the docking bay when they went.
Huh. How long ago did you see them?
A couple minutes. They walked by me before I ran into you.
I think a plan is forming. The wheels in Rahal's head are visibly turning.
Why are you looking at me like that? This guy is barely shorter than you, and it's like you guys are looking at each other, and he seems even more afraid as the wheels turn, and you're looking down at him, and he looks down at himself, looks back at you.
Right. Thanks, buddy. I turn my back to him and say, okay, go ahead with the squeezy, Merrick.
What?
All right.
No! Help! Help me! The guy starts screaming his head off.
Buffalo with a giant hand.
Okay.
Hey nerdlings, Nick Lotus Plays back with some news about the channel and my other work on the interwebs. It's been decided that my 200 subscriber special will be a Q&A. You can submit questions on my Facebook page, on my Twitter page, or in the comment section of this video with the hashtag AskNickLotus. But wait, there's more. For the past several weeks, I've been working behind the scenes with some creative, fun, really cool people. Rollmongers is a group of fellow geeks focused on playing traditional style role-playing games like Pathfinder and the game I recently joined them on, Star Wars Saga Edition. And my friend who you might know from the Peanut Butter Gamer route of my Asagao Academy Let's Play, Lindsay Lloyd, is in on this too. In addition to my Q&A, Rollmongers is holding a contest for you nerdlings. To tell you more, here's the creator and co-founder of Rollmongers and our Star Wars game master, Jeff Ball.
Hello everyone, GM Jeff here to tell you Rollmongers podcasts in collaboration with Nick Lotus Plays 200 subscribers celebrations. We are offering our own little prize to the winner selected. We want you to be an honorary rollmonger, to show off your voice acting skills by doing some cameo voiceovers in our Star Wars Dawn of Defiance actual play podcast. That's right. Our little corner of the galaxy can't wait for you and to show us your rebel support or perhaps Imperial loyalties. Good luck in the contest, and may the fork be with you.
To enter for a chance to win, check out Rollmongers through the links in the description or end card. Then comment on this video, my Facebook page, or my Twitter page with what you think. Tell us about your favorite characters and moments and any predictions you have for the story so far. We'll randomly select a winner to do a guest voiceover on the podcast. Mark your post as an entry with the hashtag Rollmongers. You can also enter by subscribing to Rollmongers on YouTube and following on SoundCloud. The deadline for entries and Q&A questions is Friday, August 18th. Again, I'm thrilled to be celebrating 200 subscribers. Thank you so much for your continued support, nerdlings. And, as always, thanks for watching.